And again, Bluebonnet has 4,300 meters out, and they are working to get the lines back up. Let's take you back out live now to St. Luke's on the Lake Episcopal Church, where a briefing is getting underway right now.
Well, good afternoon. There's 16:30 or 4:30 briefing. Good to see your faces again. We're all getting too familiar with each other. My name is Jim Linardos, L-I-N-A-R-D-O-S, Fire Chief, Lake Travis Fire Rescue, and I'm the Incident Commander here in the Steiner Ranch Fire. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your support. We're still working on the fire. We're still working on containment. We're about 45% contained. We're very comfortable with that. We're still working in some hot spots. We're working very closely with the customers and the civilians out there. They're doing a real good job in Steiner Ranch working with us. We just ask people to be careful. There's still smoke in the area, and there's still fire trucks working around that area. We still have hose lays and everything out in the street, so be careful for the folks driving in there. And we do appreciate everyone's cooperation. No real changes in the fire. It's still 24 homes destroyed, 30 damaged, and we're still at about 125 acres. Even though it was a small fire, it had a major impact. We're still having fires in the region. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. We just want you to be careful. Please don't work our resources. Firefighters are weary and tired, and we just need you all to be very careful out there in this hot, dry environment. I'd like to introduce Danny Hobby. He's the Executive Director for Travis County Emergency Services. Danny?
I'm wearing my Starfly shirt today because I'm running out of shirts, but I'm also proud of the fact that I work with Starfly. Just to give you a kind of a global real quick, Pflugerville, as you know, was one of the main hot spots for a while. They have contained their fires. They call it the Pflugerville Complex. It was 3 fires, but it is contained, and they're doing their watch at this time. There's still some hot spots, so they're still going to be monitoring that. I just came from Pedernales, and the situation there has also improved. They still have some hot spots, but they're trying to control their situation as well. They are now consolidating their shelters into one. It's now the one shelter is going to be at the St. Thomas Catholic Church off of 620. And so that's taking place now. They are also working on a reentry plan. They're not now allowing people in yet, but they're working on that plan, so they're hopeful that they can do that if conditions become right. Also today, as Chief Linardos mentioned to you, there have been several other small fires, one in the city of Austin as well as in northeast Travis County, but those have been controlled, and so we don't have any danger there. I would like to give you, though, a number that was passed out today at Commissioner's Court, and it's a reentry number. It's a city number, but it's a recording. But what it does is it gives you updates on reentry. And so for all those who are listening by television, if they could take down this number and call it. Just remember that it's updated, and it is a recording. It's not a live person. But that number is 974-6199. 974-6199. And so that's all I have at this time. Starflight, you'll notice, is not flying as much today. We had 3 aircraft up the last 2 days. They've had actually, now their count is well over 600 bucket drops. And but luckily today they're not being used as much. And so that's a good sign, I think, for everyone. Thank you.
Somebody said. There you go. I don't want to lose it.
Tony Calloway with Travis County Fire Marshal's Office. As y'all are all aware, we've had a amount of fires over the last 72 hours. Our investigators are still out, currently working on each and every fire. We have determined the area of origin on all the fires up to this point and have determined the cause on many of the fires. On this particular fire of interest at Steiner Ranch, we have an area of origin and a point of interest where the overhead power lines are at. We're examining those closer. We'll have an electrical engineer coming out to examine them in detail. So it's just a preliminary finding at this point, but we did find some things of interest at that. We're still continuing to interview witnesses. If there are any witnesses to any of the large fires we're currently working, Steiner Ranch, Pflugerville, and the one in Spicewood, please contact our office if you have any information. Our number is 854-4621. One of the issues we are struggling with is due to the evacuations, it's difficult many times to get in contact with some of the neighbors that live adjacent to where these fires occurred. So if there's anybody that has any new information, please don't hesitate to contact us. We have conducted a complete damage assessment of the area at Steiner Ranch, and we're currently out with the Forestry Service assessment team looking at the Spicewood area to try to complete that damage assessment. I hope to have that complete by tomorrow.